Welcome, everybody, to the Enterprise Podcast. This is episode 4. I'm here joined today by Jay High, a player in the competitive Rogue Company scene, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about his outlook on the competitive scene for Rogue Company, as well as maybe get some insight on his competitive team and the way he practices the game and what he thinks about it. What's up, Jay?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's up? How are you? How's your day going?
And I guess we could start off. You could tell us a little bit about maybe your team or previous games that you've played. If you guys have been together long, maybe your duo or
Got you, got
what
you.
games you come from.
Yeah, we've been together for probably about I would say 2-3 weeks now. Uh, for like as a full four man, we two of us, me and my duo, we played together a while, and we played Call of Duty together. I know him for a little bit. He's been a friend for a long time. Um, our third, we have a second named Kotzi. Our third is a kid named Aox. We just picked him up. He was friends with Kotzi back in the day in COD, so they have that chemistry too. So we have that like three-way chemistry going on, and he's a complete beast. He's a monster. Drops like 20 bombs every game, no matter who we're playing against, scrimming, whatever it is. He's a real goat for the team. And then we have our third low. He's just our fourth low. We just threw him in the mix, and we're working with him and stuff like that. He's definitely the flexiest player. You know, we kind of throw him around and we kind of play with other kids sometimes. You know, to run with fourths and stuff like that. But for the most part, you know, we played in the first Maru Gaming's tournament. You know about that. It was a 4v4, like a win race tournament. We played in that. We placed 12th out of 200 teams. Uh, Top 12 teams were the only teams to beat the. There was a win peak. It was like if you won I think it was 40 games, you qualified to like be in the top 12. So we got that 40 games in a row. So that was pretty dope. We did that the first 2-3 weeks the game came out, and right now you know everybody's just scrimming and everybody's just practicing, waiting for private matches to drop.
Yeah, I think private matches are going to change the game. Like everyone's going to be so excited about that, and actual tournaments can be held once they drop.
Yep. It's gonna
So
it's
what?
gonna be definitely a game changer.
Yeah. So what do you do when you go through like trialing, like let's say a fourth or something along those lines? Like what's your process in looking for scouting out talent for your team?
Gotcha. For the most part, we look for players that, because this is the thing about this game. This is not like any other shooter. So we're definitely looking for players that have the mindset, because you can have the gun skill in this game and still get destroyed because of your positioning or of your playmaking, or if you put yourself in a bad position, it's really hard to get out of it without having your teammates there to help you and you being able to finagle your way out of that situation, because this game's all about situationing, and especially like because a lot of the teams now when we're running scrims, these teams are super defense heavy and everyone's three peeing, no one's peeking, and you're not getting shot at till you peek or you use your tacticals or you do something to make the other team have to make a play. So based on that, it's a lot of decision making. It's a lot of, all right, he's three peeing me. I think I can win this gunfight, or I think I can make it to this other cover, get a better angle. So that's definitely a lot where I look for people with that mentality, that those call outs, those the communication, and definitely just that next level of mentality on the game.
Yeah, so being able to information feed is important for you. I'm assuming.
Oh, 100%. It's a big part of the game. Because, for example, I'm going to give you an example. We ran scrims today, and this was one of the reasons why we're kind of rocky on our fourth. We ran on Skyfall, or Skyfell, and we run via in a trench at one point, you know, complete lockdown, can't push, you can't do anything like that on the point with the statue at B, and then we run two people at the other side on A and one midage, and he was playing that A role, and they did not plan. We won the defense, we won our defenses, we played very well. We won our offenses, we played very well. We got to defense, it should have been a shoe and win, and it was like 5-1, 5-2, I think. and they planted bomb there at A every single round. And we had no comms, no communication, no. We didn't know how to switch it up because we didn't know what they were doing until he told us all the way at the end of the game. So things like that in an in-game situation, tournament situation, when money's on the line, you can't be making plays like that. You gotta be able to call. You gotta be able to communicate. It's just big, little things like that end up making you lose easy games to win because they could not push B at all because we had that lockdown. So they would always rotate back to A, plant bomb, and then it was a GG at that point. Because once you get bombed down and your team's set up because of the fact that these 3Ps, it's so easy to just sit there and just 3P bomb and just play it from a far angle or something like that. So it definitely needs that communication's huge. That intel's definitely huge.
Yeah, and I had like a pro player from another game regarding another game, Overwatch, and he told me a lot of that game, and I'd say they're kind of so they're not really the same game at all. So this is weird to say, but I say this comparison can transfer over. And he said 90% of the game is game knowledge, like being able to play it at a high level. If you know the abilities, the different angles, the damage each thing does, where to peek, what to do, and you can communicate that to your team, you're going to have the advantage. And he argued that even aiming is not as important, or it's and one thing like aiming is almost coachable. You could get better at it and improve.
Yep,
So
100%.
I think the same thing can be said about this game to an extent.
I think
There's certain
it weighs a lot more in this game, to be honest,
aiming.
than Overwatch. I mean, no, I would say like the mindset, like knowing where to be, knowing how to
Oh
play.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think some of that is teachable, or is it just kind
I,
of like a game sense thing that you have to have?
I don't. There's. It depends on what level you're playing on. That's what it comes down to. Because if you want to play at the top level with the top players, you have to have that top level mindset. You can't have the mindset of a casual player or a bronze or silver ranked player. You need to have the mindset of a grandmaster, of a person that plays this game hours on hours a day. You need to think like them and play like them so that you can outplay them. Because if I know what you're gonna do, I can outplay you. And then
Yeah.
it's just you can't really teach that at some point. I can teach you where to stand, I can teach you where to go. I can't teach you when there's four people rushing at you at B and I didn't never showed you this and you know to pull back and get your teammates help instead of challenging four people. I can't teach you to make that decision, you know? But I can teach you how to pre-aim it and how to pre-fire and shoot that. So it definitely is aiming's definitely teachable. But situational things and like decision making and plays, it's more of you just got it or you don't, to be honest. And you can get it, you can acquire it. It's that by watching VODs, watching streams, learning. I to this day, I mean, I think we have a very good team, one of the best teams on console, and I still watch everyone stream and watch everyone play so I can learn new things. You can always learn new things, learn new plays, and you can get yourself to that point. But when you want to hop on a team trying to play at that top level, you need to be there. You can't expect them to be able to teach you how to do that, if that makes any sense.
100%. I heard a quote from like a coach or something, and he's just trying to say that you have to get into the minds like of the enemy, kind of like predict what they're going to do and also be able to outplay it and just play into it, have
Yeah,
like a counter already available.
100%.
So there's
Yeah,
things like that too that are in count. Like if you know someone's about to peek you or they're going to rush you, it's just knowing all this information and a lot of times like general map knowledge too, and knowing where the enemies are going to be without even just knowing.
yeah. Honestly, well, we're just knowing that's what a team does. He usually wraps here, just knowing that, and just watching film and watching VODs and just learning that and just playtime. Honestly, there's lots of things where you can't watch, you can't see. You have to play it, be in the situation to learn from it. You know.
Yeah. How have you fared against other teams?
Per se, I would say we've been queuing in the demo queue that they did, the demo squads queue that they've been doing this weekend, and we mainly scrim through two sources. One of them's Rogue Sweats. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Rogue Rogue Sweats. Yeah, I think you're in Rogue Sweats. Rogue Sweats, we scrimmed through there. And another one that
One of our
recently just started
podcast
up was,
hosts is actually head staff there.
oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So, and another one that is really good right now is Rogue Company Scrims. Rogue Company Console Scrims or something like that. That's a Discord. Very, very good. We run scrims about like 10, 20 people at a time, like 10, 20 captains at a time. So we'll have everyone queue at the same time, and then you're bound to get in a match with someone. That's how we've been doing it. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, my team itself has probably been practicing and trying more new stuff, other than really trying to focus on winning right now because we'll have plenty of
Yeah.
time to do that. We're trying to see what works and what doesn't. Let's try this. You know, uh, we stopped running a Saint. Biggest improvement of our life, honestly. If your players are good and they're not going down, what do you need a Saint for?
Mm-hmm.
Because his gun is a very unless it's on his gun on PC is disgusting, but his gun on console is not the same beast that it is. I mean, you can still play with it, yeah, but like it's different when you're on that high level play. Like there's a lot of people that are making these clips doing these things against these bot lobbies, honestly. And then when you get to that high level play, it's just it shocked me honestly because I wasn't expecting it. Because I got in the scrim, we got in our first scrim against our first team we scrimmed was I think it's SDG. They're the team, they're Soldier Boys organization or whatever. They it's like Elvin Calderon or something like that. He's the captain of that team. We scrimmed against them and they placed sixth in the tournament that tournament that we all played in. So they placed pretty well in it. So we decided to scrim them, and they kind of watched us the first time because we just saw how they were playing and we weren't expecting it. We weren't expecting the way they played D. We weren't expecting the way they played, and but then we watched that, we adapted, and now we have good matches with them, 5-5. End game. Really close games because we adapted to the situation. But it's a different beast. It really is, and it's fun. I love it. Love the competitive games. It's a lot. I enjoy it more, honestly. But some people, they have their input.
Yeah, and I think when let's say a pro tier player touches a weapon versus like a bronze player playing with that same weapon, there's a lot. It's a different meta, you know.
Oh, 100%. Like the clips where people are making where 3 or 4 people are running at them, that's not happening in a real game. Because in a real competitive game, everyone's 3Ping you. You might get that one knock, and if you're not nading or ready for that kid to pop out that angle and pre-firing it, you're getting bodied. Especially with the way headshots work in this game. Like, it's insane because you can get ripped really, really fast.
What do you think of meta without revealing too much of your strats? Like, what are some of the more stronger comps that are in the game? You think like maybe to work together if you were just to name like one composition.
One composition. See, this is the thing about this game is that every player, in a sense, has their own value and their own worth to a team, and their own meta. So, for example, I'll give you guys what we play on attack. Usually, we play a glitch, which is not what a lot of teams use. And I've been maining the glitch recently. Then we'll run a Dima. Dima's very useful, offense, defense. Wherever you want to play him, you can play him. Dima's just a very versatile player because his grenade is just ridiculous. And if you have a player that's good with it, he'll shut down anyone, any team, any rush. We've been switching between the Talon and the Dallas for recon. To have that one recon character so we can figure out where they're going. And then the last pick has been a flex. And I go upstairs. And because for defense, we've been running the trench and the vibe, but for offense, we've been running the glitch because of what everyone's running against us. We're getting stuck by trophies, barbed wire, all this stuff. Glitch counters all that.
Yeah,
Really, and a lot of teams aren't thinking like that, and a lot of players just aren't good with glitch because his kit's not that great, to be honest. But the fact that in a competitive sense, how he stops when your team shut down on offense, or he can counter it, just makes him a very good player. And I just feel like that's definitely the way to go. Definitely, you don't need that glitch, but definitely need a Dima. That's the thing. You can't even every character is good in their own way. I can't even think of a set
yeah, that's
meta
true.
that won't work if you don't have the right players around that person.
Every
And
character brings what they bring to it.
I think they're all balanced too in their own way. They all have value.
Yeah, every single player has value in the play.
So I guess like we'll probably close it off here pretty soon. But I wanted to know what your opinions are on mouse versus controller and tournaments that are cross platform, or do you think they should just be specific platform?
Um, Honestly, this is a touchy subject because everyone feels how. But my personal opinion, I don't mind it. I play crossplay. I play crossplay. I play against PC kids. Are there some that are disgusting? Yeah, but like they're killable. And this game isn't so much based on headshots. It's more based on plays, incorporated with headshots also. So it's not so much aim based as most games are, which gives them that upper hand.
Yeah.
Um, I would be okay with it. But my mindset right now, high res, they have Paladins console, Smite console.
Yeah,
They do
they
console
separate it
games.
pretty well.
So yeah, they separate. So they're probably going to, if you ask me, but that's just my opinion.
So, are you guys looking for an orc? I know you told me like you might be, but
Nah, we're definitely looking for an org. 1,000%. And we're not. I mean, do we have offers? Yeah, but like we're not trying to settle. We're trying to make
yeah,
sure where we go, we want to stay for a while.
and that's why I bring up that question. Is I guess I wanted to kind of ask like, what do you consider when signing to an org specifically? Like, what do they need to kind of offer you, and what's your standard for that?
Biggest tip to everyone, anyone watching this: do not sign for an org right now. It's way too early. You don't know your team's capability. You don't know your team's skill level. If you want to join an organization that's not requiring you to sign, then that's differently. That's different. Some orgs like play under us. We'll do this for you. We'll credit your online tournament. That's great. That's awesome. Just for now, for temporary while you guys are building and growing as a team. Don't sign a contract because you'll be. I did it in Fortnite. I hated it. I was stuck under a contract because I signed one early because I was kind of good, and I got stuck under a contract for like 6 months. So definitely take your time. Think about it. Make sure it's a decision you and your team want to make. It's a big decision. A lot of legal issues. My advice is to wait. If you can just get picked up by a team that credits you, that's cool.
Yeah, and we have no idea like what the potential of this game is. I mean, it to
That's
me
what
it
I'm
personally
saying.
looks promising.
It
And I
does
guess
look
that
very
that would be
promising.
our last question is what do you think about the potential of this game as an esport?
Say again, one more time. Sorry.
The potential of Rogue Company as an esport.
Oh, it's the potential's through the roof. Like it's. I wouldn't put the hours in if I didn't think it had the potential. And definitely the fact that Hi-Res is backing this just gives me more, thought that they're definitely gonna, cater to the esports scene. And they know that what we want, and I'm ready. I'm ready to eat.
Yeah,
To
and
be
I
honest,
think they're learning from their mistakes too.
yeah, they're very they drop patches quick. They care. They really they're a very good team behind this game. So it's definitely it's all based on two things: the developers, and if they want to back it, and the community, and if they want it to happen. Because if they see the community want it to happen, they're gonna be like, all right, well now we have to put out tournament because every thousands of people are waiting for them, and that's the money they're missing out on. So it's definitely up to us too to make sure we're doing things like this and every little thing to help the community grow.
Yeah, early stages. It's gonna get better. I think it's really good. And as far as like community goes, what about just in game play? Do you see like the format good, like the gameplay, the balance, and all of that stuff?
I don't think,
At least
yeah, I
having
don't,
potential.
yeah, I think the game's pretty balanced. I don't think anyone's too super overpowered. I mean, I guess people have their complaints about Scorch and some of the shotguns in the game, but like other than that, I don't, I don't think it's that unbalanced. to the point where they
Yeah.
need a major patch and that character's broken. But definitely they're gonna have new characters come out that are gonna be broken, that are gonna need to patch, and then things are gonna have to be adjusted. So we'll see how they decide to change the meta. Obviously, people are playing a little bit more. Now your teammates can run through your barbed wire, like things like that makes the player more makes a rogue more valuable.
So is there where can our listeners find you on social media and stuff to connect with you?
J High at J High on Twitter, JAYYHIGHH, and on Twitch.tv/JI. Any Discord, I'm always down to talk to people, always down to help people out. You can always ask me anything. I'm always down to answer. So yeah, just reach out and just give me a shout, and I'll definitely help you out.
Cool, man. Hey, thank you for being on the show and taking the time for the interview. It's
No
not a lot of
problem. No
players that
problem.
will just take a random interview like on the same day. So,
Hey, listen, people need me. The people need me.
well, hope to get some games in with you too. If you ever have space or anything like that,
Nah,
like
I got you. Definitely hit me
I'm
up.
always playing.
Definitely down. Definitely down.
I'm trying to get a good squad together to start playing the demo queues or something before they
Before
remove
they
it.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it was nice talking to you. Have a good one, and good luck to the rest of your podcasts and stuff. And let me know if you ever need me again.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, we'd love to have you as a guest again. So, this was the Enterprise Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. You can find us on YouTube, and in a few episodes, a few days, we will be on Spotify, Apple, and Google Play as well. I'm just working on submitting the show details to all of those platforms. We try to have our format daily, and we're working on improving the quality as much as possible. This was an interview with one of the comp players. He's a top player in the scene. As you heard from him, he placed top 12 in one of the first tournaments out of 200 or 100 teams like that. That's pretty impressive, especially considering how many teams are, and it's a new game. And definitely look to playing versus him as well as his team in the future.